if we look ahead for the next 12 to 24 months, what do you think HR leaders really need to be thinking about most? And maybe what's your biggest concern, but also do you think the biggest opportunity with respect to that?
I think we touched on quite a few already, which I personally think are concerns of mine. One is how we work and interact. So make really the time and spaces for the deeper, more creative, more holistic, more strategic thinking, reflective thinking also for ourselves. How do I take time enough to reflect on myself? And that also will help to balance a bit more this more tactical 30 minutes, tacted days. So very deliberately create those moments and times where there are no online meetings for those who work in offices, but that you can really create that balance more, which will then also have a better actually outcome for the business, but also better impact or a positive impact on the mental well-being. So that's the other one. The mental well-being has suffered, and we are yet to see the consequences of that, in particular in the next generation workforce, because the young generation suffered even more from it because they had less strong coping mechanisms. So that's another point. How do we continue that focus on mental health and well-being, and are very mindful in how we design work and how we do things, also when it comes down to the overflow of communication. So that's, I think, it's another stressor. And if you think of context, the raising inflation which is coming, so there is a lot of stress coming from outside on our teams and people in the world. So how can we as organizations also help to create an environment where that's hopefully a bit less strong? So these are probably the two big concerns, and link to that, as I said before, I think making human interaction something which is really key in our personal life, but also in our work life. That is something which for me is a great opportunity. Just be mindful of that again. So that I think would be the key concerns and opportunities. The other one is we touched on sustainability or ESG. I think there is also a great opportunity to go beyond, in particular, the E in the ESG. So we spoke today probably a bit more about the S part, where human resources come into play. But I think there is an opportunity to be more precise about S, to be more measurable about the S part, and then of course in particular also the G. But this is for me a great opportunity going forward as well, because it also motivates people. There is a huge inspirational, motivational factor in there, and people want it. And so how can we also make it a bit more tangible, measurable, to your point about data? That's probably also an opportunity. And finally, now that I'm on it, is the technology improvement when it comes to interactions in a hybrid way. I find the technology has not improved or not much progressed. If we are online here and you can see the face, all our Teams meetings and all the different technology which is out there has not significantly improved, that you have a different feeling if you have a hybrid interaction, that you feel like the person is close to you. There, I think, is a great opportunity for the tech companies or startups.
In this series, we will be speaking to a range of senior leaders who are pushing a data-driven and digital HR agenda. Make sure that you subscribe via your podcast app of choice, and also via our YouTube channel for free and regular interviews with the digital HR leaders of the future.